Hello guys, welcome, and today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that a lot of people struggle with, especially going from any place of employment, or they may be in college, university or something like that, and they're looking to start their own business. So they've got like a side hustle, as people call it, or they're going into business for themselves, and that's time, managing time. And I always have people ask me, how do you manage your time? And the answer is I don't. You can't manage time, okay? Time is something that ticks continuously. You can never slow it down, okay? You can never speed it up. It happens at a continual rate and it never stops moving. So one thing we need to ask ourselves is, okay, how can I manage the time I spend on each task in each day? Because if you look at millionaires and billionaires in the world, they all have the same 24 hours as you. And one thing they do very well is they utilize the time they have by either outsourcing to other people. They have teams and systems in place that execute their plans for them, which gives them the time to then sit back and think about how to move their business forward and progress their business in ways in which no one else can do, okay, which is why they're the business owners. Now, if you're a small business and you haven't got a lot of time, you may be sitting there thinking, well, before you go on any further, outsourcing costs money. This is all stuff that I can't afford because I'm just a small business in a startup. Well, we're going to cover that as well. But in the next sort of 5 to 6 minutes, I'm literally going to break down ways in which you can manage your time better and utilize it properly so you get as much out of your day as you can, okay? And you're not wasting time on unproductive tasks and things that aren't going to get you any closer to your end goal, yeah? So one thing that comes from a key discussion point, which I've highlighted, is set goals and manage tasks. Now, to set goals and managing tasks is a lot harder than it sounds, because if you're not setting the right goals, or you haven't got the right goals, then you could be setting tasks which are irrelevant because they're getting you to a point where you don't actually need to be going. On the flip side, you could be going to the right place but struggling to say this is where we want to go as our endpoint, but struggling to hit the tasks we need to hit on the way to get there. Now, I've got a few really good resources, and if a lot of you who know me know I'm a huge book geek, and I've got some great resources actually I'm going to recommend purely on staying organised and managing your time a little bit better. Okay, now in terms of actually managing your time, I've got a couple of resources here. First thing is of classic The One Thing, okay? Gary Keller and Jay Papasan have hit the nail on the head with this one, guys, because they literally talk about how to set your goals and then prioritize the tasks you need to be doing to get you towards your end goal. Okay, so The One Thing is a resource that I would definitely recommend reading. On the same note as The One Thing, okay, we need to be looking at Richard Koch, which is the 80-20 principle. Now, in the 80-20 principle, guys, he talks about how you can maximize your efforts, maximize your outcome from minimal efforts. Okay, it's not being lazy. We're not talking about being lazy, but we're talking about investing 20% of your time and effort and getting 80% of the results off the back end of it, not the other way around. You don't want to invest 80% of your time and only get 20% outcome from it. Yeah. And this talks about how to literally achieve more with less. That's the whole idea, okay? So by taking the 80-20 principle, utilising the tactics taught in The One Thing, you can literally start outperforming most people because you're managing your time, setting goals and tasks that are achievable every single day are going to get you a lot closer to your end goal and achieving the most you physically can out of the little time we do have. Now, in terms of actually finding time to set these goals and stuff, now, I truly believe the morning, first thing in the morning, is the best time to do any of this stuff. Reason being, at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, no one is going to bother you. Okay, 97% of the world are in bed still at 4 o'clock in the morning because they're lazy. Okay, let's put it out there. I'm going to say it straight up. They've got nothing to get out of bed for. They're unenthused. They're just going to work every single day and they feel they need that time to sleep. Well, actually, if we manage our time better, okay, we can still get 6 hours sleep a day, go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and still be productive throughout the day. Okay, now it doesn't work for everybody, and there's a lot of people out there who are achieving a lot without doing this. But 4 o'clock in the morning, between 4 and 5 in the morning is a time where I am not bothered by anybody, ever. And The Miracle Morning is a fantastic book which outlines how you can utilise that time in the morning and set goals. Okay, now if you're not a morning person, just give it a try. I'm just going to say that much, okay, because it's worth giving a go. Because for myself, I've got a few businesses now. I've got a 1-year-old son, I'm married, I've got a lot going on in my life, and the last thing I need is to be interrupted when I'm trying to set my tasks for my day, my week, my month, or whatever it may be. So that time in the morning is crucial for me because I'm not bothered, okay, by nobody. Phone goes off and everything, by the way. Then in terms of actually outsourcing and maximising other people's skill sets so you can buy back your time. That's all you're doing when you're outsourcing, you're buying back your time. And you may say, why do I want to do that if I can do it? Well, because you don't have to do it, okay? And if you can employ someone that's going to be better than you at that job, trust me, if they're a specialist in that area, they're better than you at that job, because a jack of all trades is never going to be good at just one individual thing, okay? Whereas if you bring on board a specialist, they're going to help you progress. So, Virtual Freedom by Chris Ducker. I've recommended this book so many times before. I've interviewed Chris on my podcast. I've wrote a blog on this, okay? If you're reading this or watching this on my site, it will be in the show notes below, okay, the link to the other post. There'll be a link to this book as well. There will also, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, guys, then just click in the show notes. There should be a link there. If not, go to the link to my site, to that blog post, and then you can check it out from there, okay? But that just literally outlines exactly how you can outsource a lot of stuff in your life which you don't need to be doing. And trust me, I've done this, it works, it's fantastic, okay? Then, last resource I'm going to recommend, absolute classic, everyone knows this one. You're going to have to excuse the state of this book, by the way. I did lend it to my mother, and she bought it back in, I mean, the only way I can describe it, it looks like she's dragged it home from the back of her car. I mean, I'll get over it though, it's fine. But the 4-Hour Work Week, guys, this is a fantastic resource, okay? It's a classic. Everybody who is an entrepreneur or in the entrepreneurial world who's got their own business knows about this book. But there are some real golden nuggets in this, okay? So I would thoroughly recommend jumping on this because there's a lot of principles you can follow within this book which are going to help you outsource, okay? But secondly, it's getting yourself in the mindset that you don't have to do everything and you can maximise your own time by outsourcing to others, okay? Now, one thing on staying organised with technology, okay, is there's a lot of resources online and there's so many you can choose from. It's just a matter of finding one. But I'm actually going to jump into my computer now and show you what I use and what helps me, and then hopefully if it works for you, great. If not, then I'm sure there'll be something else there for you. But this is what works for me and what I've advised for a lot of other people, and it works well for them. So let's jump into the computer. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go through is a app I use on my phone, which is very handy. It's called Checklist. Okay, now obviously I've got an iPhone. I'm an iPhone user. So if you haven't got an iPhone, guys, there should be something for Android that is very similar to this, but I can't actually tell you if I'm going to be honest with you. But let's go to Checklist. Now, I generally use this for my passwords, so I'm not really going to open all this here, okay? And I use this for, if I've got a lot going on, like I see I've got Friday the 28th of October there. That's a really old one. I should have deleted that. That's still there. But you can literally add whatever you want. So it could be that, okay? And then go to done. Then you can literally just click on that and you can add the key tasks you want to get done that week, your key objectives. So it could be, if you've got a podcast, it could be and then go to next, put their names, and you can click on them, guys. You can move them about, you can create mini lists within lists, so you can tick off one or tick off both, if that makes sense, and you can literally keep track of your week like this. Another thing you can do is just do it day by day. You could do your weekly goals, and underneath it then just move that. Oh,
Just move that, sorry. There it is. Underneath, so you could have your weekly tasks up top, and then you could outline your daily tasks, which are going to contribute to your weekly tasks. And you can do this through the month and everything, guys, okay? Because I've used this a lot before. Now, I generally just use my calendar now, but that's one way you could do it. The second way you could do it is quite simply with your calendar. Okay, now I use my calendar for everything all the time, and I've got my podcast interviews in there, meetings, and it's every night I just check my calendar on my phone, and because I've got this linked to my iPad, my phone, my laptop, my computer, it's all there all the time, so I don't have to keep updating other apps or anything like that. It's just all in there, and I just put notifications on stuff if it's really important. Like I always check in the morning, guys, but then just put a notification on it, you know. And for my podcast and my calendar people can book me online with, I use software called You Can Book Me. I'm going to show you that in a second, actually, guys. But so I use this software here called You Can Book Me, and people can literally book my calendar. So if I show you an example, because what we're trying to do here, guys, is ultimately take you out of the process, so you now have time to do it. So you just now know when someone wants to spend time with you, and you can literally, let's just let this load. So here on my website is that calendar, and I can put in here available times that I've got for people to chat to me and go for a strategy session. Then they can click that time, and then on there they literally book that and confirm the booking, and then that booking will come straight through to your dashboard in here, but more importantly it will go straight to your calendar, and you'll get an email notification saying you've had a booking. It goes to your calendar at that time. Fantastic bit of software. The other one is Trello. Okay, Trello boards are so underutilized, I think, and this is something that's incredible to use, because you can literally have your week. Okay, so you could have I'm supposed to say daily tasks, in hand, complete, notes, and you could do this, guys, and you can add complete. That's that done. And if you want to add stuff to it, so you can add, you can do whatever you want to this, guys. You can add files to this stuff. You can do whatever you wish to do. You can also add people to this. So I've got a board with my VA, and in that board I can see exactly what he's doing that week. Okay, we'll come out of that though, because that's a bit private. But yeah, so you can utilize this in so many different ways. And what's even better, guys, is this is on your phone as well. You've got the app for this on your phone. So last one I use a lot is Google Drive. Okay, so Trello's great for managing your workflow, okay, to see what's going on, when it's due to be complete, and everything else. Now, for actual documents, guys, Google Drive's brilliant. Again, like for my VA, we've got all this stuff up here. So let me just go to podcast audio files, and I'll put all the audio files in here. He can literally, so I've shared this with him, he can access that. So it takes time away from me having to send him stuff individually. I just drop stuff into a folder on Google Drive, and he's just got access to everything here. I don't have to go to it again. And in here, he puts in his daily reports and everything. So I know exactly what's going on all the time. I know all the tasks I need to be executed are being executed. And then I literally just put all the stuff out to him, and I'll just watch it from a distance. And I don't have to be involved in that process anymore. So I'm utilising my time.
Okay, so there it is, guys. Okay, I've gone through a couple of things you can do there to really help you manage your time better. A couple of really good resources that have helped me a lot out in the past. But one thing that's very important with this, guys, and you must remember, is even if it's no good having access to all these resources but not using them, it's no good having access to the stuff that I showed you on the computer and not using it. Okay, you have to utilize the stuff consistently. Okay, the stuff, that's a terrible word. You have to utilize the software or the books consistently. Okay, you have to make sure that you're continually writing down your goals, and you need to use platforms that you're going to use every single day. So if you know that you're not a fan of a calendar, then don't use the calendar on your phone. Okay, use something else which you're going to use. But it all comes with testing and adjusting and making sure you find the system that works for you. Ultimately, systems save you time. Because if systems are in place and they work and they're managed, you no longer have to be involved in the running and the operation of that system. You can set the system up, make sure it works, oversee it, step back and let it run. Now you've got your time to concentrate on growing your business. Guys, I hope this has helped you. If you've got any more questions, please feel free to contact me and I'll be more than happy to see what we can do for you. Hope you have a great week, guys. Thanks for checking in and I'll see you soon.